Let's talk medical collections. Medical collections are kind of an interesting thing. For years, it actually reported your credit no matter how much the dollar amount was. It was super frustrating to me when I'd see people who had $10 collection accounts for medical collections. Why? I understand if you had a medical office that had to write off 50 of those, that's a big chunk of money. But there's a little bit of a misunderstanding about credit collections and medical collections right now, and I want to go through a few of them. The first thing that we go through is medical collections under $500 will not report. Now, that doesn't mean that I've paid down my balance to $500 and it will no longer report. It was originally less than $500, therefore it won't report. Now, the other direction of that is it was $499, so it didn't report. Now I have interest that they've collected and it's 520 now, not going to report at that point. What was the original balance when it actually was going to hit that collection account and actually report to the credit report? Also, with that, they cannot report for the first 12 months. That gives them time to track you down, to get you the bill, to set up a payment arrangement, to be able to get you lined out, to be able to just get that paid back and not have it affect your credit by any means. My frustration to this, and I have to make this very clear to you, if you go to a doctor's office, a hospital, have any procedures done, please, by all means, you have a bill coming. Pay attention. In 30 to 45 days, if you haven't received it from Dr. Smith, call Dr. Smith's office and say, hey, I haven't received a bill. Oh, we mailed it to this place. Well, that's not my address anymore. Can we update it? Update your address. Get the bill. Just because you don't get the bill doesn't mean you don't owe the money. And that is a huge pet peeve of mine. Call the office and say, hey, where's my bill? I'll never understand just not taking care of the bill. You knew it was coming because you attended the doctor's office. Now, with the hospital, we all know that there's an anesthesiologist and there's this guy who reports this reviews this report, and we've got this doctor that does this, and we've got this guy that does this with this shot. So there's a lot, but you should be able to call the hospital and say, who are all of my providers? Because there's the No Surprise Act that you have all the ability to get who your providers are and you can track down those bills. Is it a little extra work? Yeah. Is it your responsibility? Yeah. You had the service done. Figure out where the bills are and get them paid. So let's say it was $700 that you owed to a medical facility. You, for whatever reason, didn't get the bill, you didn't get it taken care of, and we're on 13 months past the time that you had service. That reports to your credit report. You have me pull your credit report, and all of a sudden you find out, wait a minute, there's a $700 collection. I didn't know anything about it. You did. You actually did. No, you just didn't take care of it. Anyways, so you get a hold of the company and you immediately get it taken care of. You get proof that it's been paid off and everything's good that way. On the mortgage side, I don't care. Medical collections are not something that I have to worry about. On your, this is going to haunt you for the rest of your life, you better take care of it side, once you pay off that bill, it has to be removed from your credit report. It's not just reported as a zero, it's removed of it as if it never existed. That's something to be aware of because you want to be monitoring those, that the medical facilities are actually following through and removing them from their credit bureaus. The big misconception is that medical bills we're never going to be able to report to a credit report again, and that is not true. The CFPB back in January 2025 went to work about getting some of this medical bill stuff taken care of. And I personally think that the fact that it's under $500 can't report is beautiful. On top of the fact that they can't report for 12 months is beautiful because it gives time for people to be able to get a handle on everything. And so, am I in love with their ability to still report? Not necessarily, but it also is nice that there's a little bit of a guardrail there. So, the one thing that we have to think about is just because it doesn't report to a credit report doesn't mean it doesn't give them the right to collect the debt. You owe the money, you had the service done, they have the right to collect the debt. This is the big rule of thumb. If it's less than $500, it's not going to report to your credit report. If it's less than 12 months old from the date of service, it's not going to report to the credit report. That's your window of time to get that crap taken care of. Just get it taken care of. If it's over $500, set up a payment arrangement with the medical facility so that once it hits 12 months, it doesn't even report at all. Nobody even knows that it exists. That is super important. Now, on the mortgage side of it, I don't look at medical collections. We just set those aside because, for the most part, we assume people are not going and racking up medical bills just for their own entertainment. Most of the time, something unforeseen has happened. And whether insurance didn't cover all of it or whatever the case might be, we got to think about it. A hospital ride is 20 grand or some ridiculous number. That's probably exaggerated, but it's a large amount of money just to take an ambulance ride to the hospital. Not get any services, just get the ride to the hospital. So things are very expensive when you go down the medical path. So you don't really have a choice when you get into a car accident to, just kidding, I can't afford to have my leg casted that just got shattered in a car accident. You have no choice. Those are definitely reasons to have some sort of a medical collection or medical debt pull up on credit. This is a thing that people have to remember. If you owe $10,000 to the hospital and they say, well, we'll take 20% off of that if you can pay this in full. Great, I'll just put it on my credit card. I want to save 200 bucks. This is great. So, or $2,000 because it's 10,000, I'm going to take 20% off. So you have them swipe your card for $8,000. As soon as that credit card is what paid off that medical bill, that credit card is now consumer debt. It's not a medical bill. So if you stop paying that credit card and it goes into collections, we don't care that it was a medical bill that was on that credit card. At that point, it looks like you racked up a credit card. It's best, in my opinion, for you to just pay the medical facility directly. Do not put it on your credit card. There are probably some instances where medical facilities won't let you make monthly payments. For the most part, most of them do if they're a fair and reasonable amount of money. And if you absolutely have to put something on your credit card, so be it. But you have got to remember that turned into consumer debt. It is not a medical debt anymore, and you don't get to file medical bankruptcy. You don't get to claim if you stop making that payment as it was a medical bill. Mortgage institutions don't care that it is a consumer debt at that point. Medical is huge because we all have it. Some of us have prepared a little bit more than others. Some of us, it wouldn't matter how much you prepared. You have a car accident and lost wages, you can't prepare enough in some cases. At the end of the day, you go to have a medical service done, be looking for a medical bill. In 30 to 45 days, you don't have it, start picking up the phone and make some phone calls and track it down. Set up payment arrangements and do what you can to stay in front of those medical collections. I am not a huge fan of how they wrote the law. I wish medical collections would never even be able to be on the report at all, ever. I wish that it would actually be an opportunity for us to teach creditors that it's okay to collect a debt and not have it go on somebody's credit report. But it's like the bad apples make it bad for everybody. Next week, we're going to talk about installment loans and the importance of how often we should be refinancing our installment loans. What does it look like if we have the ability to pay it off faster than in the window of time that we've been given? If you missed any of our episodes, make sure you subscribe so that you get notified. And let's go out and be adults and not be afraid.